Hello, witches and wizards, and welcome back to Potterwatch, the Harry Potter podcast, brought to you by me, Harry Potter Explained, O'Connor, as we delve into the Harry Potter books chapter by chapter, dissecting them, making the magic come alive from the page. Can you believe it? We're on chapter 13. Over 3 months we've been doing this now. 3 months and a week we've been doing this, and we're on chapter 13 of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. My love for doing this has not dwindled at all. It's been so interesting delving into the books this way, talking about it with you guys, having them good conversations in the comments. It's just been absolutely brilliant fun, and I just can't wait to keep going. Of course, we're only in chapter 13 of the first book. Still got quite a few chapters to go in this one, let alone 6 more books which get longer and longer and longer. But of course, as always, I just want to have a massive shout out to you guys, massive thanks. Of course, check out the other channel, leave a like, subscribe, get your notification bell on. Monday will probably be the new sort of time for this rather than Friday. It just works better for me. Fridays, you know, you all have a bit of fun on Friday, don't you? Friday fun. So yeah, this will probably be the new landing spot for it, but hopefully the wait has been worthwhile. And yes, like I say, let's just dive into chapter 13, Nicholas Flamel. Last time out, it was chapter 12, The Mirror of Erised. Harry, we got to celebrate Christmas with him. He got presents for the first time, not just a 50p coin, but lots of fudge and treats and a jumper. Oh, and an invisibility cloak, which he used to sneak out, found a Mirror of Erised, and almost went mad in front of it when he saw his parents. Dumbledore found him. You know, if you want to hear me dissect that, go watch that episode. That's what this episode's about. This is all about the man, the myth, the legend that is Nicholas Flamel. Or, if you're in the PS1 games, Nicholas Flamel. I have no idea where they got that from, honestly. It's like, he's a real person, as we discussed last time I got his date of birth up, which J.K. Rowling got wrong, by the way. That author, that stupid author, she got it bloody wrong. Either being actually, I think, did we say 658 at the time of 1991? So, do your maths right. Anyway, this chapter is really fun. Obviously, we have a Quidditch game in here. You know, got a lot of good stuff. It sort of skips towards February time. It's, you know, glosses over January, because who wants to hear about January? January is like the worst month of the year. You know, it's so slow, boring, sluggish. Feels like it lasts forever. Who wants to hear about that? So it starts out with, obviously, Dumbledore had convinced Harry not to go looking for the Mirror of Erised again. For the rest of the Christmas holidays, the invisibility cloak stayed folded at the bottom of his trunk. I said it last time, I'll say it again. I think the invisibility cloak, Harry is such an awful owner of the invisibility cloak. You know, James did it for all these crazy nighttime excursions, having a load of fun, going out and partying, you know, sneaking out to the Forbidden Forest, going out of the kitchens. Harry barely ever uses it. You know, he should be using this way more often. Him and Ron just having some fun little hijinks, you know, just going some places, you know, with friend George, you know, get friend George involved. They'd take you on some right nighttime strolls, but no, just wasting the potential of the invisibility cloak, guys. Really disappointed. James is looking down at you, Harry, going, "That's not my boy. My boy would be doing all the fun stuff." But there we go. He wish he could forget, if I could speak English, what he's seeing in the mirror. Over and over, he had dreams about his parents disappearing, a flash of green light where a high voice crackled with laughter. And Ron's like, "You see, Dumbledore was right. That mirror could drive you mad." It's like, well, yeah, but he's reliving his parents' death. You know, that's because of something you guys won't understand, but he can reminisce it more because of the Horcrux, so you can see it more clearly just because he was a baby. Hermione, who came back the day before term, looked at things a different way. She was tormented with horror and the idea of Harry being out of bed roaming the school 3 nights in a row. If Filch had caught you, I was invisible, Hermione. I was invisible, you know. Can't be seen. I mean, I could be rung into, and that almost did happen quite a few times, but I was invisible. So, really, all's well that ends well. You know, I didn't go mad. Everything was good. There we go. And I can imagine bring out, you could have been killed, or worse, expelled, or you could have gone mad, or worse, expelled. And she was also very disappointed but hadn't found out who Nicholas Flamel was. Yeah, like, not being funny, Harry, you fumbled it there. should be knowing who Nicholas Flamel was. Like, come on, mate. You just got distracted by a stupid mirror. Should have been back to that library, finding out who Nicholas Flamel is, but no. Tut. They'd almost giving up hope of ever finding Flamel in a library book. Even though Harry still sure he'd raised him somewhere. He did, on a chocolate frog card. Once term had started, we were back to skimming through books 10 minutes during their breaks. Harry had even less time than the other two because cricket practice started again. Ah, yes. Build up to the one game they have, like, in February. We'll go training every night for 7 weeks, for one game. Don't get to do it, Wood. Once a week's fine. I used to train once a week at football. We played every week. You're not going to be training every night. Go be honest. It's a bit of fun, yes, but maybe you take it too seriously. Maybe you take it just that bit too seriously. Because he was working them harder than ever. Even the English rain had replaced the snow, couldn't dampen his spirits. You tell that to the HBO show, because in the HBO show, for this game, the Hufflepuff game, you go sit in snow. Book accurate TV show. I'm just going to say that. We are going to make this the most book accurate representation ever. Yeah, it's snowing when it was raining. So much for book accurate. There we go. The Weasley twins complained that Wood was becoming a fanatic, but Harry was on Wood's side. If they won their next match against Hufflepuff, they would overtake Slytherin in the House Cup. I still don't know how the House Cup works, in terms of Quidditch, how it's linked. So do they get the 50 points? Do you get a set amount of points? We discussed this, I think, in the Slytherin the chapter entitled Quidditch. It's not very clear, is it? And it does become a bit convoluted. It's like, what is going on? What is happening? Why are we doing this? I don't know, but they don't probably either. I can imagine Harry and Wood like, no, we gotta beat Slytherin. Like Harry hits friend George with his broom or something. No, so it'd be the first time in 7 years of being through. So even at the start of term, the first day, the Gryffindors aren't getting out ahead. Like, yeah, we're in front. Slytherins are always have a head start or something. But yeah, quite apart from that way to win, Harry found he had few nightmares when he was tired out after training. Then, during one particular wet and muddy practice, Wood gave the team a bit of bad news, and this bit of bad news is an understatement from Harry's perspective. He just got very angry with the Weasleys, who kept dive-bombing each other and pretending to fall off their brooms. Will you stop messing around, he yelled. That's exactly the sort of thing that loses the match. Snape's refereeing. This time. And he'll be looking for any excuse, not points off Gryffindor. Knock points off Gryffindor. Can you get points knocked off you in a Quidditch game? Does he mean house points? Does he mean the actual goals you score? 10 points to Gryffindor? Or, what does he mean points? Can you deduct house points during a Quidditch game? Foul! 5 points from Gryffindor. What? Or is it points in the game? You've caught the snitch, but 170 points off Gryffindor. Can he do that? I don't think he can. I don't think that's what referees can do. They can award penalties and stuff, but I don't think they're taking points off. Maybe he means if there was a foul or something in the build-up, maybe that takes the 10 points off you, the goal off. It's weird how we call it a goal, but then 10 points. It's either a goal or, oh god, too confusing, brain melting. But yes, George Weasley did really fall off his broom at these words. God, I hope he wasn't too high off the ground. Surely he wasn't. He must have just been hovering about, taking the mick a bit, because if he did fall off, he'd have hurt himself. Snape's refereeing, he spluttered through a mouthful of mud. Oh, got a mouthful of mud. I don't know if you've ever played that. When I've played football and stuff, and nudged to the ground and gone in for a header or something. Mouthful of mud is absolutely disgusting. Oh, one of the worst. Yeah, just not nice at all. But yeah, they're very shocked about Snape refereeing. Once he ever refereed a Quidditch match, he's not going to be fair if we might overtake Slytherin. The rest of the team line next George complained too. It's not my fault, said Wood. We've just got to make sure we play a clean game so Snape hasn't got any excuse to pick on us. Which was all very well for Harry, but he had another reason for wanting Snape to nowhere near him while playing Quidditch. Harking back to when he jinxed his broom. And Quirrell's really right. He makes himself so unpopular. Snape can do the most noblest thing ever. Even the teachers, McGonagall was probably thinking, oh, that bastard Snape, he's going to try and ruin our chances of winning this Quidditch match. The guy's just out here protecting Harry Potter. He can't tell anyone more, because he knows he can't show any sort of love or softness. Oh, I've got to do this good thing, but everyone's going to think I'm a dick again. Or they're going to hate me even more somehow. If Slytherin, Slytherins will probably dislike me. This guy's in the worst position ever. Everyone else is Oh, this bastard's trying to make sure Gryffindor don't win. Oh, I need to protect Harry Potter, but I can't make it. Oh, poor Snape. Like Snape is a bit of a dick, but this is probably the one situation I'm like, oh, Snape's trying to do like the really nice, noble thing, protect Harry, make sure nothing happens. But he needn't bother anyway because Dumbledore's going to come to the game. But yeah, it was just like, oh, that's Snape, guy. He's kind of ruining everything, isn't he? He did make himself unpopular, as Quirrell does say later. The rest of the team hung back to talk to each other, but Harry headed straight back to Gryffindor common room. He found Ron and Hermione playing chess. Chess was the only thing Hermione ever lost at, something Harry and Ron thought was very good for her. And I agree, that sort of know-it-all, having something you're not good at, sort of grounds you. You don't become too big-headed, bit pig. You're like, it makes her understand her limits, and I think it prepares her for even the Philosopher's Stone Chamber as we go later on. I think it prepares her for that. Having that thing like she knows she's not like just Mrs. Know-it-all amazing. I'm guessing the troll might have showed her that at one point as well, hence why she randomly lied. But yeah, it's always good. But Hermione knows. Yeah, she's not good at Quidditch and flying. She's not good at chess. Ron's like, don't talk to me for a moment. It's like, whoa, Ron, I've got some news where I could die. But yeah, you keep playing your chess, mate. Some friend you are. But he did catch the side of Harry's face. What's the matter with you? You look terrible. He spoke quietly, making sure no one would hear. Harry told the other two about Snape's sudden, sinister desire to be a Quidditch referee. Sinister? He's not sinister at all. And we talked about this. So, do you reckon Madam Hooch was really annoyed? Like, what do you mean? I'm a qualified referee. You're letting Snape referee? Like, what? Why? I can't tell you, Madam Pomfrey. Madam Pomfrey. I can't tell you, Madam Hooch. But Severus has got to referee the Quidditch. But that's the only things I do in life. I come to the school for one flying lesson. I come to referee some Quidditch. Yes, but you see, I just can't this time, Madam Hooch. I will pay you. But yeah, you can't referee. I bet she really kicked off, like, he's not even qualified, and all that stuff. Yeah, it's always like, does Snape have any interest, like, because him as like a schoolboy with like this really nerdy sort of like keeping himself to himself. You're like, probably did he like Quidditch or did he force himself to like it a bit? Like, so, I'm obviously, as you can tell from the background, a massive football lover. I'm at every match at Old Trafford for Manchester United. I'm staying up till this stupid hours to watch football. But there are some people who try and force themselves to like football, to fit in, to speak about. Because those boys, I won't lie, we are pretty dumb, stupid people. And sometimes, honestly, 99% of the time I'm speaking to my dad, we're connecting through sport. We're not really talking about anything else. We'll talk about what happened at work or whatever. But do you think he had to like force himself to like Quidditch so he could be part of conversations, or do you reckon he just liked it? Yeah, like Quidditch is a bit different. Like Quidditch is a bit of a different sport because it seems like everyone's into Quidditch. All the school go. Like, I imagine if I was at a boarding school and I was on the football, I don't think everyone at the school's turning up for a football match. I'm gonna be honest. I will be honest. I don't think they are, but I feel like Quidditch, everyone just likes it. Hermione doesn't get it, but she goes to the matches. She cheers on. She's very excitable, but yeah, maybe he is into it, and it's just like, yeah, okay. Hermione said, "Don't play. Say you will. Pretend to break your leg. Really break your leg. Like, what? What? Are you gonna break my leg wrong? Do you want to play the Quidditch game or something? Like, really break your leg? Yeah. Surely he was like, I could just be ill. Like, Hermione's thing of, yeah, just be ill sounds pretty good. Rather than breaking my leg. Like, God. What have you done some stuff to get out of some stuff wrong? Have you broke your leg to get out of something before? Like, really break your leg? It's a great line, but yeah, it's like, I don't know, guys. I feel like just being ill, or yeah, how do you pretend to break your leg? At Wizard School as well. Like, Hermione, you've just not thought that one through. How do you pretend to break your leg at a normal school? I've considered pretending to be sick before. I have pretended to be sick before, but I've not pretended to break a bone. God. I can't, said Harry. There isn't a reserve seeker. If I back out, Gryffindor can't play at all. Well, Ron will volunteer. He's clearly very desperate to play. That's why he's telling you to break a leg. He wants sing on the team. He wants to replace you, Harry. He's coming for you. He's a bloody dark knight. He's a backstabber. That's what he is. But yes. I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, like, just breaking your leg. Crazy. At that moment, Neville toppled into the common room. How he managed to climb through the portrait hole was anyone's guess, because his legs had been stuck together with what they recognised as the leg locker curse. I just want to be a bit of a nerd here. It's the leg locker curse. Is it what? Is it Peter? Oh God, what is it? It's locomotor mortis. That's what it is. Locomotor mortis, because that's the spell, obviously. The prefects cast on you in the PS2 Harry Potter games, and that is the leg locker curse. So locomotor mortis, Harry Potter, the leg locker curse, also known as the leg locking spell, also known as locomotor mortis. I love when people cast that on you in like the Harry Potter games. I'm a myth. Especially in the library, bunch of fun. But yeah, poor Neville, he's had to like hop all the way from wherever Draco and him was to the Gryffindor common room. That must have been so. Like, how's he not run into anyone who could try and help him? Surely they've been closer to like the teachers or something. Oh, I don't know. God bless Neville. So yeah, he must have bunny hopped all the way up to Gryffindor Tower. That's some workout. Everyone fell about laughing except Hermione. And so I can imagine, like, they're a bit concerned for a second. Like, oh no, Neville. And then Harry and Ron just start laughing. Oh, classic Neville. Why is it always him? You know, God, be a bit nicer. She performed a counter curse straight away. Neville's legs sprang apart. What happened? Malfoy, said Neville shakily. I met him outside the library. He said he'd been looking at practice for long. Like, yeah, just got him on them pints, you know, but yeah, see, he does explain it here, you know, because Hermione's like, go to Professor McGonagall, report him. I don't want any more trouble, he mumbled. You've got to stand up to him, Neville, said Ron. He's used to walking all over people, but that's no reason to lie down in front of it and make it easier. See, I think like that thing of standing up to him is fair, but I don't think Neville just lied down in front of him and, you know, or even him not reporting him. Like, you just don't want trouble. That's not lying down in front of him, I don't think. I think that's just like, I guess it is. I still think it's a bit harsh from Ron, I feel. I'm not sure, though. To me, it's a bit harsh, but there we go. I just think he did lie down and go, okay, cast for leg. There's three of them, especially when Crabbe and Goyle are there. I reckon it is a bit scary. It's a bit crazy. So Harry, there's no need to tell me I'm not brave enough to be in Gryffindor. Malfoy's already done that, and it's crazy, obviously, because Neville does have this almighty transformation, obviously, from sort of Order of the Phoenix onwards. I still feel like in Goblet he's still pretty clumsy and just a bit silly. But going into Order of the Phoenix, I beg my pardon, he does turn into quite the hero, and of course he's a true Gryffindor, because, I mean, he pulls the sword out of the hat. That is brave Gryffindor standard, like 1 million out of 1 million. Only him and Harry are known to it. Obviously, Dumbledore gets the sword. He keeps it in his office, to be honest. He'll pull it out of the hat, though. So, yeah, Neville is a brave, true Gryffindor. And he shows a bit of stupidity and bravery in this chapter. Sometimes stupidity and bravery, it's a very thin line. And Neville sort of lingers on the line and then goes over into stupidity a bit later on, as of course you'll be aware. So Harry felt in his pockets, pull out a chocolate frog, the very last one from the box from Hermione. How long has he had these? That must be a lot of chocolate frogs. Surely it's a bit melted or a bit crap now. Like, you know, when you leave chocolate a bit, especially not in a cold area, like just in your pocket, I reckon it's not going to taste nice right now. But he gave it to Neville, who looked like he might cry. Oh, Neville, like, oh, it's been so nice. He goes, you're worth 12 of Malfoy. The Sorting Hat chose you in Gryffindor, didn't it? And where's Malfoy? He's stinking slithering. Like, Harry's like, yeah, I know, sit here. Let's do this. Like, you're worth 12 of him. One, Harry, people out loud are not a commodity anymore. You can't price people. Come on, Harry. This isn't the 1800s. You may be sick, but no, seriously, obviously, like, yeah, you are 12-fold better than Malfoy. I'd say more than worth than 12. You were 50 of Malfoy, is what I'd have said. 12's a bit of a random number. 12's a bit of a crap number. Only 12? He's a bit of a dick. He's 50 worth. He's worth 50 of Malfoy. And yeah, obviously that thing of you know, the Sorting Hat put, yeah, because you are brave. Like, the Sorting Hat saw it in you. You know, it's not just, you know, the Sorting Hat never lies. It can feel it in you. It can feel the inner workings of magic. You are a brave man, and he's in stinking Slytherin. Full offence to all Slytherins out there listening. Slytherin is a stinking place. I don't care. Um, and then he's like, Neville's lips twitched into a weak smile, and he's like, "Do you want the cards? Do you collect them?" As Neville walked away, Harry looked at the card. It was Dumbledore. He was the first one I ever got, and then he gasped. He stared at the back of the card. I found him. I found Flamel. I told you I read the name somewhere. I read it on the train coming here. Listen to this. Professor Dumbledore is particularly famous. We don't care about his defeat of Grindelwald. We talked about that before. His discovery of 12 use of dragon blood and his work on alchemy with his partner Nicholas Flamel. And I hope that sort of this TV show does go into what fun the what alchemy is he doing with him? How did they become partners? Like, what alchemy is Dumbledore up to? What's he brewing? What crazy potions and alchemist stuff is he doing? Crazy Dumbledore. I want to know. But yeah, we found Nicholas Flamel, of course. That's all we know of him so far. We've still not heard that he's the creator of Philosopher's Stone, but we'll go find that on the next page. Don't worry. As Hermione jumped to her feet, she hadn't looked this excited since they got the marks for her very first piece of homework back. Stay there. She sprinted upstairs. They had barely had any time to exchange looks before she was back. I never thought to look in here, she whispered excitedly. I got this out of the library weeks ago for a bit of light reading, and we got the classic light, or in the film it's "This is light." I love that. So she's flicking through the pages and she's like, at last she found what she was looking for. I knew it. Nicholas Flamel is the only known maker of the Philosopher's Stone. This didn't have quite the effect she expected. The what? Said Rory and Han. And honestly, don't you two read? Well, Hermione, you might read, but it had to take that card for you to remember who Nicholas Flamel was. Like, if you read that much, you'd be like, Nicholas Flamel, he's the guy who created the Philosopher's Stone, because I remember that, because I read it, and I remember what I read. So don't get smart with Harry and wrong about this. You didn't remember either. You know, it's taking you a while to get here, so calm down, Hermione, is all I'd say. Calm down. And then she pushed the book towards Ron and they read, "The ancient study of alchemy is concerned with making the Philosopher's Stone. A legendary substance with astonishing powers. The stone will transform any metal into pure gold. It will produce the elixir of life, which will make the drinker immortal. It means we'll never die." There have been many reports of the Philosopher's Stone over the centuries, but the only stone currently in existence belongs to Mr. Nicholas Flamel, the naughty alchemist, an opera lover, who celebrated his 665th birthday last year, enjoys a quiet life in Devon with his wife Perringel. 658. He's 658. We worked this out last time. Wrong. Both ears should be 665. She was actually quite a bit younger. I think she should be like 630. Is all I'm saying. From memory serves me correct. That's what it should be. And yeah, of course, like I say, as we discussed last time, the Philosopher's Stone is a genuine real thing. So if we just put Philosopher's Stone, because the Sorcerer's Stone is also not a real thing, and that is definitely a fake thing, because why would it be? So it is a mythic alchemic substance capable of turning base metals such as lead and mercury into gold or silver. It's also known as a powder as well as a red lion for gold and white lion. Alchemists additionally believed it could make the elixir of life, which made possible rejuvenation and immortality. There's been lots of it from 300 AD to the Arab empires, and then the Renaissance with Sir Thomas Browne identified religious aspects of the Philosopher's Stone when declaring, "The smattering I have of Philosopher's Stone has taught me a great deal of divinity." You've got stuff about Hindu and stuff, Hinduism and Buddhist, and yeah, it's in how often is it in art and entertainment? The Philosopher's Stone being an inspiration plot feature of subject of innumerable artistic work, animations, comics, musical combinations, novels, and video games. Examples include Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Never heard of it. As above, so below. Flamel Alchemist, The Flash, and The Mystery of Mamo. I wonder what it was like in The Flash. So back to the actual story. "See," said Hermione, "the dog must be guarding Flamel's Philosopher's Stone. I bet he asked Dumbledore to keep it safe for him because they're friends and he knew someone's after it." I never get that. Like, how do they know Voldemort's after it? You know, like, at what point do they decide that Quirrell might be working for... You know, because we know later on that, like, he's like, "Oh, keep an eye on Quirrell, will you?" I'm never sure what... It's like after the first week of school or something, that is. So it's not even like when he was moved from Gringotts, was he aware then? It's all just seems a bit odd, like how he knew why the Philosopher's Stone ends up there. Like, is there an actual explanation? Let me again Google sometimes help me on this. Why? God. I'm sorry about that. Some work pops off. I'm on my lunch break, but sometimes work just pops off when you least expect it. So yeah, I just want to know how they became friends. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. How did Voldemort? Why did Dumbledore move the Philosopher's Stone? Plot to steal the Philosopher's Stone. Here we go. We're on the Harry Potter wiki. Yeah, the plot began, but that's what I mean. So the plot began when they tried to break in, but the stone was getting moved that day. So, how it doesn't make sense really. When Flamel realised the stone may be in danger, so again, how did he know the stone might be in danger though? Is it because in 1981 Voldemort went to Godric's Hollow? Yeah, Voldemort was still obsessed with gaining power. Maybe in danger. Yeah. So really, it still doesn't explain that, does it? Doesn't explain it all. But so there we go. It annoys me that a bit. If you guys sort of have an answer or thinking, let me know down below. Still not makes gold and Scotch River die. No wonder Snape's after it. Anyone want it? So are you after it now, Harry? Are you after it? I wonder. Do you want it? Is that why you go down? So, and no wonder we couldn't find Flamel in a study of it, recent developments in wizardry. He's not exactly recent if he's 665, is it? He's 658 wrong. How many times do I have to tell you? How many times do I have to tell you? So, skips forward after that. They just stop talking, apparently. It doesn't really matter. Next morning, when he defends against dark arts, we're copying down different ways of treating werewolf bites. See, we don't talk about werewolves, because, that seems like a third year thing, but we're talking about werewolf bites here. It's quite interesting. Like, is that more the werewolf bite itself? Is that more care of magical creatures? See, defense against dark arts and care of magical creatures in third year can be quite interchangeable when we're on about Grindylows and magical creatures. Is a Grindylow? To me, it's not really dark arts. Like, see, Redcap, Hinky Punk. So Hinky Punk, I think, is more creature. Redcap, more defense against dark arts. Dementors, defense against dark arts. Werewolf could be both. I mean, but I'd say I would still put it in care of magical creatures. But there we go. To find it up that you will learn about that at the end of third year. But they're looking at werewolf bites here, which Harry and Ron were still discussing what they'd do with a Philosopher's Stone. I mean, you'd make some gold and you'd live forever. They're the two things you can do. Have fun. Or would you sell the elixir of life? Does it constantly reproduce? I just don't know. If they had, it wasn't until Ron said buy his own Quidditch team. Fair enough. Yeah, I like it. Buy the Chuggly Cannons. Knock yourself out. You always lose. And he remembered about Snape. I'm going to play. If I don't, all Slytherins will think I'm just too scared to face Snape. I don't think they're thinking that, because why? Like, they don't know about the other stuff. Maybe they know a bit about you in potions, but it's probably not that at all. But there we go. I'll show them. It'll really wipe the smells off their face if we win. Just as long as we're not wiping you off the pitch there, man. Two best friends here. Yeah, break your leg. As long as we're not wiping you off the pitch. Really supportive people out the wrong about it. Like, yeah, as long as we're not wiping you off the pitch, Harry. Oh, yeah, we don't want to be doing that. It's like, oh, thanks. So the match grew nearer. Harry became more and more nervous. Whatever he told Ron and Hermione, the rest of the team weren't too calm either. The idea of overtaking Slytherin in the House Championship was wonderful. No one had done it, not for nearly 7 years. But would they be allowed to be with such a biased referee? Well, I'd find out. Harry didn't know whether he was imagining it or not, but he seemed to be running at Snape wherever he went. At times he even wondered whether Snape was following him, trying to catch him on his own. Potions lessons were turning into a sort of weekly torture. Snape was so horrible to Harry. Could Snape possibly know they'd found out about the Philosopher's Stone? He can read minds. And yeah, I wonder if he ever does that. Like, try not to think about Philosopher's Stone, Harry, in class. He didn't feel like how he could, yet sometimes he had the horrible feeling that Snape could read minds. And he can, obviously, with his legitimacy. He's a very good mind reader, and it's like, maybe you should do that more often. Is it like an invasion of privacy? I know, obviously, if you're like a more learned wizard, you probably just walk around like, is it a common thing to have been good at like occlumency though? I don't know. So could the average wizard, like not even the average one, could like Sirius Black or Arthur Weasley's might just be read because they're not really practicing occlumency. I feel like the only two people ever practicing occlumency are probably like Snape and Dumbledore, probably practicing it together in a little room, like legilimens, and Dumbledore. He's seeing like Dumbledore kissing Grindelwald, something like no, and Snape, vice versa, of not kissing Lily. So there's that. Yeah, so he can read minds, Harry. Well done, you. Harry knew when they wished him good luck outside the change rooms next afternoon. Ron and Hermione were wondering whether they'd ever see him alive again. Like, really, Quidditch at schools, you're so mad. Like, honestly, people are dying. Like, people might be dying, and people think they might be dying. Why are we playing this sport? This is what you call comforting. Harry hardly heard a word of Wood's pep talk as he pulled his Quidditch ropes, picked up his broom. Ron and Hermione, meanwhile, found a place in the stands next to Neville, who couldn't understand why they looked so grim or worried. They both brought their wands to the match. Like, wait, do they normally not bring wands to the match? I just carry my wand everywhere. I'm not leaving it about. What if someone stole it? What if I lost it? I lose a lot of stuff in my house. Like, honestly, if I put something down, there's like a 90% chance I'm losing it. So yeah, I'm not putting my wand down. I'm taking it everywhere with me. Like, why does that seem odd? Like, she took it to the last game. She set bloody Snape's robe on fire, so we must take it all the time. Little did Harry know that Ron and Hermione were being secretly practicing the leg locker curse. They got the idea from Malfoy using it on Neville, and Red to use it on Snape. Not being funny, he's on a broom, he's not walking or anything. How's that going to help? Yeah, does his legs get tight with the broom? Like, I just don't see it helping. Like, you might want to learn a spell that knocks him off his broom rather than a leg locker curse which locks him to the broom. I don't see it helping the situation, guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that's the best use of your time. I apologise if that's stupid. Maybe you disagree, but there we go. Now, don't forget, it's Locomotor Mortis. I know, played the Harry Potter games before. Ron said he didn't say that. Back in the change rooms, Wood had taken Harry aside. Don't want to pressure you, Paul, but he's going to pressure him. But if we ever need another capture of Snape, it's Snitch, it's now. Finish the game before Snape can favour Hufflepuff too much. The whole school's out there, said Fred. Blimey, Dumbledore's come to watch. Harry did a somersault. Dumbledore, he did. He said, dashing to the door. To make sure, Fred was right. There was no mistaking that silver beard. Harry could have laughed out loud with relief. He was safe. There was no simple way that Snape would dare try and hurt him if Dumbledore was watching. And obviously, this is a kid like really confusing because obviously in the film, Dumbledore's at the first match, but obviously he's not normally. So it's like, does Dumbledore not go to Quidditch? I feel like Dumbledore should be all the Quidditch matches, watching it. He's a good fan of it. Like, what were you doing that day when Harry, like, that's Harry Potter's first Quidditch game. If I was Dumbledore, I'd be like, oh, we're going to go see this. I want to go see Harry play. But no, he didn't even go watch him play. I feel like that's disgusting, Dumbledore. And that makes more sense of why Snape, obviously Quirrell says later on, I couldn't do anything, Dumbledore was there. So yeah, classic Dumbledore, like, oh, I heard what happened to Harry. Won't be happening on my watch. Maybe if you do it the first game, Dumbledore, it would have happened there. Perhaps that's why Snape was looking so angry as the team marched onto the pitch. Something Ron noticed too. I've never seen Snape look so mean. Look, they're off. Ouch. Someone had put Ron in the back of the head. It was Malfoy. Sorry, Weasley. Didn't see you there. Malfoy grinned broadly at Crabbe and Goyle. Wonder how long Potter's going to stay in his broom this time. Anyone want to bet? What about you, Weasley? And he's like, football? I understand American sports. Very open, having loads of people sat about. Sometimes you do see a lot of fighting noise. We all like to laugh at Americans going, oh, they're so like happy clappy and things. But you see some good fights at some NFL grounds. Especially when it's like, so yeah, a lot of fights and a lot of rivalries like Philadelphia, New York. Giants, Eagles. Bears and Packers, you can get a bit of a fist fighty atmosphere going on. But like in obviously British football, we have home sections, away sections. You don't sit with people because we are all stupid, and fights would take place definitely. So why the Gryffindors and Slytherins allowed to come near each other? I know the children, but I don't believe in it. I think they should be kept apart because of what is going to happen in this. Malfoy, slimy slithering, provokes them. Because Harry had just... Snape had already awarded Hufflepuff a penalty because George Weasley hit a bludgeon at him. Surely, if you hit it at him, that's actually is a penalty. You can't tap the ref. That's should be a 6-month ban, to be honest. But maybe the bludgeon was hit towards him. That's what the wording should be, rather than at him. You know how I think they choose people for the Gryffindor team, said Malfoy? Snape awarded Hufflepuff another penalty for no reason whatsoever. C, there's Potter, who's got no parents. Then the Weasleys, who've got no money. You should be on the team Longbottom. You've got no brains. Well, Malfoy, you've got no friends. These two are just cronies, so how about that? You should be on the Gryffindor team too if we're going down that route. Hey, and no talent, and just nothing. You're a nobody, Malfoy, is what I think you are, but there we go. Never went bright red, but turned his seat. I'm worth 12 of you, Malfoy, he stammered. Malfoy, Crabbe and Goyle howled with laughter. Aww. Come on. He's a good guy, Malfoy. Neville. Don't be howling. He's not worth 12 of you. Like I said before, he's worth 50 of you. And then, this is probably one of my favourite lines. Longbottom, if brains were gold, you'd be poorer than Weasley. And that's saying something. As much as I hate Malfoy, it is a clever line, so you know what, fair play. Ron's nerves were already stretched to breaking point with anxiety about Harry. I'm warning you, Malfoy. One more word. Ron, said Hermione suddenly. Harry, what, where? Harry was suddenly going to a spectacular dive, which drew gasps and cheers from the crowd. Hermione stood up, crossed her hands in her mouth. Harry streaked towards the ground like a bullet. You in luck, Weasley. Potter's obviously spotted some money on the ground. Ron snapped. Before Malfoy knew what was happening, Ron was on top of him. I can't wait to see this scene in the book. Just seem like jumping over, going, hitting him and punching, it'll be brilliant. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely amazing to see this fight. One scene I do wish was in the film. Yeah, he just jumps on him. Everything's about money with Malfoy, and it's he shouldn't be such, good. You've got money, mate, but what have you actually got in life? Are you happy, Malfoy? I don't think you are. In fact, he admits later on, if you consider Cursed Child, he was jealous of the friendship they all had when he had idiots like Crabbe and Goyle. Neville hesitated, then clambered over back on his seat to help. Come on, Harry, Hermione screamed. Harry sped straight at Snape. She didn't even notice Malfoy and Ron rolling around on the other seats. Yelps coming, fists of that was Neville, Crabbe and Goyle. Neville taking Crabbe and Goyle together. That is a fight we all want to see, isn't it? Neville just I can imagine windmilling both Crabbe and Goyle in the face. Up in the air, Snape turned his broomstick just in time to see something scarlet shoot past him, missing him by inches. Imagine if them two had a crash, Harry would have been murdered by Snape for crashing into him. Oh, Harry pulled out the dive, his hand raised in triumph. He caught the snitch in his hands. The stands erupted. It had to be a record. No one could ever remember the snitch being caught so quickly. Well, it's about 4 minutes, it's nothing like Roderick Plumton's record of 3.5 seconds. But, game begins. 1, 2, 3, half, game done. See how quick that was. Imagine going to that game. You'd be so pissed. He must have just flown up his sleeve or something. Who knows? Ron, where are you? The game's over. Harry's won. We've won. Gryffindor have won. We're in the lead. So we've won. Hermione danced on her seat, hugging Parvati Patel in the room. Parvati's ill again. I feel again, Hermione Parvati does appear quite a bit in this book, sticking up for Neville at times, being impressed with stuff. Because obviously her, Lavender and Hermione sort of share a dormitory, but Hermione's never really friends with them. I feel like Lavender, no offense to Lavender, I've never really liked Lavender in this book. I feel like Parvati, she turns Parvati into that mean girl, that sort of typical stereotypical Regina George sort of mean girl. I think Lavender Brown's a sort of, she antiphasizes. You really ever hear from Lavender Brown in this book? Probably thinks she's too cool and stuff for Quidditch. I do like Quidditch, But anyway, Harry jumped off his broom. He couldn't believe it. He'd done it. The game was over. It barely lasted 5 minutes. That's a bit annoying. What are you meant to do the rest of your day? I go to football, I might watch football. An hour and a half. To be fair, the main sort of excitement for me going to football is having a few beers before with my dad, a few beers afterwards, having a good old day. But, you still get a good, 2 hours of the game, but not here. It's no, 5 minutes, we're all off, guys. And Gryffindor came spilling on the pitch. Whoa, 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 where are the stewards? Pitch invasion, pitch invasion. Stop the game, postpone the game, it's scary. He saw Snape land by, white-faced and tight-lipped. Then he felt a small hand on his shoulder and looked up. Dumbledore smiled. Oh my god, Dumbledore's pitch invaded. He's probably leading the way, like, with a flair, like a banger. Potter for president again, even though that banger made no sense whatsoever. He says, well done. Nice to see you haven't been brooding over that mirror. Been keeping busy. Excellent. What if I was like, oh shit, the mirror, I want to go find the mirror. I've just walked on my mum and dad on the quiz. God, Dumbledore, you've kicked off the addiction again. And then Snape spat bitterly on the ground. I always love that. I don't know why. Just nice and simple, that I feel. Then we skipped way after a match. Harry left the changing room alone sometime later to take his Nimbus 2000 back to a broom shed. I don't like the idea of a broom shed. Anyone could break into it. A Nimbus 2000, I'm not leaving that in a broom shed. No, I'm keeping that on my person at all times. So Harry is got to put his broomstick back. Like I say, anyone could steal his broomstick. Not a fan of that at all. He reached the shed and looked up at Hogwarts with its windows glowing red in the setting sun. Gryffindor in the lead. He'd done it. He shows Snape. Speaking of Snape, a hooded figure came swiftly down the front steps, clearly not wanting to be seen. It walked as fast as possible towards the Forbidden Forest. Harry's victory faded from his mind. He recognised the figure's prattling walk. Snape sneaking into the forest while everyone else at dinner. What was going on? So a normal kid here puts his fin back, just goes for school, goes, I saw Snape sneaking about, I wonder what that was. Crazy kid Harry Potter jumps on his broom and glides across and hides in the trees. He couldn't find Snape, but he flew in circles, lower and lower, until he heard voices. He glided towards them and landed noiselessly. I don't know how he's landed noiselessly in trees, but there we go. He climbed carefully along one of the branches. Again, this guy's a ninja. Like, how is he doing this? Below him, the shadowy clearing, stood Snape. He wasn't alone. Quirrell was there too. Harry couldn't make out what the look of his face, but it was stuttering worse than ever. Don't know what she wanted to meet here of all places. Oh, I thought he'd keep this private, said Snape. Students aren't supposed to know about the Philosopher's Stone after all. And this line always intrigues me. So, does he know that Harry knows, or is it just because up at the school we're not meant to talk about the Philosopher's Stone? Always confuses me, that line. Like, does he think people know about it? But why would that Snape be like, Quirrell's told Harry or something? That wouldn't make sense. So I am always just like, is it because Quirrell's always come, they just don't want to talk about it at school? I guess maybe that's it, and maybe I'm thinking too deep into it. What do you guys think? Harry leant forward. Quirrell was mumbling something. Snape interrupted him. Oh, don't want to be interrupted by Snape. Have you found out how to get past that beast of Hagrid yet? Severus, you don't want me as your enemy, Quirrell. I don't know what you perfectly well what I mean. An owl hooted, and Harry nearly fell out the tree. Oh God, Harry, how did you get scared by an owl hooting? What is your hocus pocus? I'm waiting. I don't. Well, very well. We'll have another little chat soon when you've had time to think things over and decide where your loyalties lie. And it's always Snape again. It seems a bit too forceful, the writing, where they're trying to make Snape the bad guy. Because if you think about it from a perspective, like, he's trying to gain whether he knows about that. If he knows about getting past Hagrid's, but why does Snape need to know what Quirrell's hocus pocus is? Like, why does he need to know what Quirrell? Like, that seems a bit too forced to think. Right, Snape needs to know how to get past that, and what's he doing to protect it? That's what I think. It comes off a bit too forced. And I'm not the biggest fan of it. I won't lie, but yeah, there we go. So we get back to the castle. He's like, we won. They're still celebrating. Neville tried to take on Crabbe and Goyle. He's still out cold, but Madame Pomfrey says he's alright. How is he still out cold? Like, she can mend broken bones, grow arms back, like, overnight, but it takes time for Neville to come out of, like, a coma. Is he in a coma or something? He's got a bleed on the brain. What have they done together? Are they going to be arrested for, like, attempted murder? What has gone on? Anyway, they're all waiting in the common room. We're having a party. Fred and George stole some cakes and stuff from the kitchens. Yeah, they didn't steal them. As we learn in Goblet of Fire, the kitchens just love to give things away. Like, oh, here you go, sir. Have more. Like, they just want to please and be friends. So yeah, they didn't steal them. And Harry's like, forget all that. Let's find an empty room. He makes sure Pease wasn't inside. and he told them what he heard. So we were right. It is the Philosopher's Stone. And Snape tried to force Quirrell to help him get it. He asked if he knew how to get past Fluffy, and he said something about Quirrell's hocus pocus. I reckon there are other things protecting the stone, apart from Fluffy. Loads of enchantments, probably, and Quirrell will have done some anti-dark heart spells, which Snape needs to break through. So you mean Snape's stone's only safe as long as Quirrell stands up to Snape? It'll be gone by next Tuesday, said Ron. And that is the chapter. Will the stone be gone by Tuesday? Who knows? I don't even know what day that was meant to be. Is it a weekend, I'm guessing, because Quidditch was on? There was no, lessons, so is it going to be gone in 3 days? I don't know. But yeah, a good chapter in sense. You learn... I forgot how early you learn about Nicholas Flamel in that chapter. It's not a very long chapter, but you do learn about Flamel quite early on. And obviously the Quidditch match actually takes the bulk of it, and you're sort of Snape. Again, I don't mind this framing of Snape at the Quidditch match as being evil. I get that, and obviously the two things of him wanting not Slytherin to be taken, to be taken over, and also the stuff with Harry to try and hurt him. I get that the talk with Quirrell does seem very forced, and I think it doesn't. From what you actually learn, it doesn't make much sense. When he's like, "Your hocus pocus," stuff like that. I guess it's just a bit off, a bit weird, but overall, really solid chapter. I liked it. What do you guys think of the chapter? Is it fun? Do you like it? I think it's up there as one of the best chapters. Again, we'll try and ramp the chapters at the end once we've done all 17. It'll probably be a little fun wrap-up video. But do leave a like, subscribe, and we'll be back soon for chapter 14, which is is it just called Norwegian Ridgeback, or is it Norbert? It is Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.